Alright, so my injector now is pretty cleaned up. You can see the tip. I got a lot of the varnish off the tip, and the body itself, it's not what I would call polished, but it's definitely cleaned up down to metal. I can see there's no imperfections. Got all the joints, all the joining, all the areas cleaned up, and which makes me feel a little bit better about my project. I got inside around the terminals where the harness connects, and I cleaned the tip where the injector snaps into the fuel rail and the gas enters the injector. Now what I have not done yet is anything with the actual tip of the injector itself, the spray jet, which I'm having a hard time focusing on. Let's see if I can get a picture, but you guys know what it looks like. So I haven't done that yet, and I'm about to. So the way I'm going to do that, so as to not damage the injector, is I'm going to go back over and get my bowl of mineral spirits that I used before, and I'm going to use one of those Q-tips that I had out, and I am simply going to dab around that jet. I don't want to hit the jet too much. I don't want to brush the jet. I just want to kind of touch it on all sides. And I'm just going to let the mineral spirit sit for a minute, because we're about to pull some juice through it, so that should help. So now at this point in time, I'm going to switch over to my workbench here. Let me get my Dremel out of the way. And we are going to flush the injector. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it inside my pickle jar to hold on to the injector for a second while I get everything else ready. Now what I have is my squeeze bottle with denatured alcohol, not much, a couple ounces, 3 ounces, and I have about a 13-14 inch section of this clear hose. Alright, now I am going to see if I can prop this camera up so you can see, otherwise I'm going to have to just talk while I do this. Essentially, slide this hose on over the tip of the injector just by twisting it until it goes over, just like that. Now it'll stay put. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my bottle upside down and let some of this denatured alcohol enter the tube. Not too much, just a little bit in there. Alright, now get this standing up here. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up my, for the sake of making this video, I'm going to extend the leads on my pulsing rig so that the whole rig doesn't get in the way. Alright, so I just made some short little jumpers with alligator clips on the end. Alright, I'm going to clip them on right in there and get them in nice and tight so that they don't slide off and touch each other. Now I'm going to connect these up. Okay, I'm going to plug in my transformer. now I'm going to push my button and pulse the injector. And you can see right now, which is very interesting, that the solvent is just dripping out when I pulse it. Let me see if you might not be able to see that in the jar. But it's just dripping out. So I'm going to see if I can stand this camera up on its tripod. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze that ketchup bottle as I pulse it, and I get a nice spray out of that injector now because it's pressurized. I'm going to let all that juice that was in that hose run through. There you go. So now we've run all that fuel out. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit higher this time so you can actually see the fuel running through it. I'm just going to fill the hose back up. And we are going to repeat that process. Okay. Now I'm going to disconnect my leads from pulsing the injector, and I'm going to flip the hose and we're going to back flush it. So this is an area it's very important to be super careful here. We're just going to twist that hose off of the top. Slide it over the bottom. Making a movie here, so thanks for talking in the middle of it.